Goodness. Alrighty. Hi, what's up in the name of Jesus? It's the Crankcake. I hope you're good. I am recording on 2 cell phone devices because I'm very insecure about one of my phones because it keeps going funny, the Android. So we'll see which one I use. I'm probably going to use the one on the Android because it transfers to my cell phone device better. To my Mac, sorry, better. Guys, I washed my wig in the washing machine and I think it just came out alright. It is synthetic, it's like clothes. Anyway, whatever. Look, herein lies the Karabo rocking up again another day. In order to talk about all of these random insanities all over the planet that are not happy to stop. And it is what it is. The only reason I'm even angling the camera the way that I am, despite the fact that there's like this delay at the back that keeps coming in, is in order to make sure that my face is visible on the phone that I'm not going to use. But I need to stop looking at that device and rather just talk into here. That's just a backup plan in case this phone decides to like switch off all of a sudden. Or overheat, but my finger is in a funny place. It's taking over the mic anyway. Look, life is rough, okay? My life is rough, but not nearly as rough as the Wicked's lives currently are rough, alright? Okay, I'm gonna start ignoring the iPhone over there and just frankly face the front here, cause like sister gotta talk and I gotta really get like an important message out there. And the delay at the back is giving me disturbing hookah chaka vibes. It's giving me like, yeah, vibes that I don't like. Listen guys, what am I listening to? What am I hearing? Neighbors are talking. Hey? Woo. Anyway, I think maybe recording the same thing on 2 devices is giving some kind of acoustic backlash. I don't know. I don't think that's what's happening, but it is what it is. Look, yo, I'm exhausted. But not nearly as much as the Wicked are, frankly, also similarly just worn out. And their evil is what it is that's taken them over. The wickedness of the wicked ensnares them, thus saith the Lord in the scriptures. The righteousness of the righteous, however, delivers them. So, yeah, I keep getting dreams of random wicked folk, little witches that I don't know. Can't recognize them. I get to burp. Leave me alone. Can't recognize the living daylights out of them. They look like absolutely no one I've ever met in my entire existence. Yet they are feeling some kind of funny, strange way. Checking out me in particular, my content, and I'm like, thanks for being one of the only people looking at my content. Look, I gotta also put it out there again. Every day I have to say this caveat because I noticed this like app on CapCut. I'm hearing people talking outside and they're disturbing me. On CapCut to apply makeup, every so often it bounces, especially by my eyebrows over there, off my face when I blink, when I gesture, like a happy baby. And so I just have to put it out there that I'm wearing app makeup just to make myself feel like I look cute or whatever. Otherwise, I wake up like this. Anyway, look, there's no time for jokes right now. We just gotta get real and serious, okay? Listen up, yesterday, right? Oh, guys, I've got so much on my plate, right? So I upload content on so many channels, and it has taken me forever, the past couple of days, it's been taking me forever and a cute little day to get all my content online because some days the internet is just like super slow for whatever reason. And I think it's because of during the day, so many people bandwagoning on that particular network. So only in the wee hours of the morning do I get super fast internet. Understood? Bandwidth is a thing, right? But I can't upload on, well, I thought I couldn't upload across multiple channels at the same time, so I had to do it one by one, and it was causing me to start to be lagged behind by a day. And I have a thing about loose ends. I can't stand them. Alright, very well. So God has given me like all of these ideas to perpetually innovate ways to work faster with a slow computer, with slow internet, and to basically just get a whole bunch of stuff done even when I'm sleeping. And for me, the best thing that I do when I'm sleeping is upload content, like proper. I put it on YouTube and I go to bed, and then in the morning when I wake up, uploads are completed. I literally put it up on YouTube, and like on YouTube, once you start uploading a video, you can publish it before it's done, but only once it is completed publishing. The standard definition version will then be available to be seen. So while I'm sleeping, boom, my content goes on the internet, or it's visible for people to consume it, and it gives me a sense of achievement. Right? But how it is, I've got 4 channels where I upload content because I'm trying to dump my stuff everywhere. And all 4 channels have been severely shadow banned by YouTube. I'm stranded on exactly the same numbers as I was like last year, okay? Even though I upload every day and some pretty impressive content, even when I do shorts, like lots and lots of shorts, I don't even grow up, like not even a nudge, not even one new subscriber. It's okay. I've taken that in my stride, but I don't want to keep seeing that, so I don't look at my analytics. I don't, like, last time I checked any of my subscriber numbers was literally months ago. I survived by imagining that somebody's actually watching me, because one day a whole bunch of people are gonna watch me. I'm speaking millions, okay? When it's kind of like already late to enter into the rapture. And so the way that I avoid to see how many subscribers I've got, and the way that I survive not seeing, well, I don't go into my analytics page at all. I even on the upload page, I hide my stats. I literally take the window of my browser and I shift it to the right so that it hides the panel where it shows me the number of people that have viewed, likes or dislikes, etc. I make sure I don't see any of that. That's how I survive that level of rejection. I pretend I'm being viewed. And it literally goes a long way to pretend. Like, I live in a dystopia where 24 hours a day, I just imagine I'm not living in a dystopia. I'm exactly like Will Smith in, is it I Am Legend or whatever, where he's living in this like world that has gone to the total dogs, and every so often he chats with mannequins and pretends they're human. That's what I'm living like, alright? And it works. It works to keep me healthy and sober. Combination of this work that I do, exercise, uploading, and imagining people watching me feeling like crap for basically ignoring the person that they were supposed to listen to. Not only that, the wicked feeling like crap for being in a position to hide me. So it is not everybody that is hiding me that is going to be feeling like trash for hiding me, but they'll just be feeling like trash for not finding me. But YouTube will be responsible for blocking them from seeing me, and a whole bunch of other witches literally standing on the content of other people. I have made mention in my very historical videos before that there are people, content creators, little witches who work, who have built their channels off of the blood, sweat, and tears of other content creators. In other words, they literally seek out smaller channels on YouTube that are just starting out before they make their success, before they reach their height, before they get to where they get. They scan their content to see their potential to grow. So they go out of their way to look for people who are good, but who are not yet anywhere. Like the person who has just started out. How can I describe this, guys? Yes, let's use the story currently in Maui, in Hawaii. This very tragic, horrific thing that has gone down in Hawaii. The fire, the wildfire that's killed over 100 people and counting. Yes, that situation is quite dire. It is extreme. It's terrible. Like, frankly, it's just unimaginable what people they are going through, right? But, you know, this world has got a lot of bargain hunters. This world has got a lot of exploiters, opportunists, perniciously stealthy people just squeezing their way into a circumstance to juice the living daylights out of that which cannot, frankly, afford to be juiced. Frankly, they are like vampires. They're into exsanguination. They just love to drink up all the blood that they can out of people, leaving them high and dry with no futures. So there are literally venture capitalists. Literally, can you believe it? Like, this is the earth, okay? 2 Timothy 3. From now on, in the last days, perilous times will come. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusers, just disregarding of people, despisers of those who do good. But let's just focus on of lovers of money and lovers of themselves. Yeah, loving yourself and not others, and loving money makes you a vampire. It causes you to exsanguinate human beings, to drink the juice out of them when they are at their weakest point. Herein lies the exsanguinating venture capitalists in America, trying to capitalize off of the sorrow in the people of Maui, who are currently just like frazzled. They don't know whether they're coming or going. Some of them have lost loved ones. Some of them don't even know where their loved ones are at, etc. You're at the height of that. You're living in sporting centers. You're living out of homeless shelters, whatever, like government call these things, interim measures to get people rehoused or whatever. You're in some interim phase prior to the Lord setting you up in a new environment. If at all, you'll cry out to him since you are in a lot of sorrow. That's what's good. And then herein lies the exsanguination. Herein lies the blood drinker, the juicer. Herein lies the exploiter, thus called the venture capitalist. And they're properly dime to the penny or penny to the dime, whatever the word might be, close to nothing. They are literally forecasting in the future that this is Hawaii. It is a holiday destination. Everybody knows Hawaii. Like, everybody in the world knows Hawaii. They've got these excellent beaches. It's basically just a holiday destination. It is a tourist attraction. It is a marketplace. It's a real estate like minefield. It is a real estate gold mine. That is what Hawaii is, especially if you're close to the ocean. That's what's good, right? So you realize that a fire has burned some places down to the ground. And then as a venture capitalist, you go to Hawaii where people are suffering, living in sporting stadiums that have lost their houses. Do you understand? Maybe even family members. That's what's good. And at the height of their sorrow, with the government taking their merry time to basically do what they need to do for the people. I mean, it's so bad that they're not even giving people water to extinguish fires. Like, it's so bad. The situation in Hawaii is just a freaky little mess of a obviously global elitist strategy of some Pinky and the Brain nature nefariously trying to take over the world because they have nothing else to do for the day. Yeah, that's what's good. I am looking at Babel in the worst way when I look at Maui, but moving on, all right? And then you go and you tap on the shoulder of a person who's lost their property. And you're like, can I please buy your, it would retail for $250,000 if at all nothing had happened. Can I purchase this land of yours for $20,000? Can I buy it for $50,000? Knowing that you're going to rebuild on there. It's going to rise up again. The prices are going to skyrocket, real estate vibes. And the people that will have literally given away their livelihoods living right by the beach over there are going to be moved to some other place when their houses, do you understand, would have been very quickly snatched and grabbed like a little criminal on the side of the street, stealing your purse from out of your car while you drive. Your house, like your entire house. Exsanguination. It's just drinking of blood out here in these streets. That's what's good. And one of the victims of this nature was like, me and my family are busy like living in our car, going from pillar to post, and we got called by venture capitalists. They literally tapped on our shoulders, offering to buy our house that has burnt down in exchange for us to move somewhere else. Capitalists, exploiters, people who try to see if they can't use a situation to their benefit, their favor, because they have no regard for their fellow man. Not even patting them on the back, not even hugging them, giving them some kind of hope for the future, praying with them, sign of a compassionate nature. No. Instead, all they do is drink some blood. These vampires exsanguinating some people. That's what's happening with witches out here in these random streets. They're just a juicing and a juicing and a juicing and a juicing. And I have been told by the Lord God Almighty that this exsanguinative activity has been happening on the marketplace, the workplace, the whatever you want to call it, economic atmosphere, all right, of YouTube by witches. They have been drinking the blood, juicing, exsanguinating content creators, much like venture capitalists that are like little parasites, drinking the juice out of the sorrow of the people of Maui. That's what's good. However, startup content creators, so people that they make observations could one day retail for a handsome penny, if at all they were allowed to thrive quite naturally. But they haven't gotten there yet. This is how I'm about to explain to you wealth transfers in the occult, okay? This is how wealth transfers operate sometimes in the occult. You see, the devil is smart, he's clever. And because he's clever, he transfers this knowledge like a nice little CEO in a company to his staff members, right? The devil knows very well how to do wealth transfers. So, people in the kingdom of heaven, y'all don't know how well organized the kingdom of darkness is in comparison even to the kingdom of light. Like, we don't have as much discipline as those gangsters. It's their basic. If we did knowledge transfer, wealth transfer, and frankly, support of one another, the way that the kingdom of darkness does, they would have nothing on us. None of us would struggle. Only reason why persecution is even a thing that's real, alive, and thriving is because Christians are frankly defeatist. Many of them are like Ananias and Sapphira. They keep on hiding that which God will have them give, and so for those reasons, they get like killed on the spot for hiding stuff, and then everybody else is like, oh, how could you do that? But the kingdom of darkness, my oh my, these exsanguinators, these vampires, let me tell you, even though they ultimately get to a point of feeling guilty and uneasy, run up to, they feel as if though they are these coiners, these chainers, these jackpot winners. They feel as if though they have entirely and comprehensively frigging arrived, okay? They don't care until they start to care. And God has shown me that they're starting to care, so now it's catching up with them. The guilt is violating them. They are burning alive. They had it coming. They had it coming. Why are they burning alive? Because they've created a dystopian earth. An earth they can't stomach. They can't stand it. They're not happy. The money they're eating is bloody. And they don't like the blood on their hands. They're like Lady Macbeth. They keep on washing it over and over and over again. Not passive aggressively, sorry, but I wanted to say compulsive, obsessive compulsively so, but it's not quite getting wiped off their hands. So lots of them are about to drop like dominoes from suicide. Right? And it can also account for the high suicide rate among content creators because of this is what's going on. Listen. All right, ain't nobody. People are, hey guys, yeah, the only people listening to me are people in the occult. They are invested in my case because they are always trying to steal something new, and they are freaking out at what under heaven it is that I keep on prophesying and speaking about because they're scared that I might just be onto something, but they're not repenting. So I only create content for some freaky people. That's what's good. But one day I'm going to be creating content, consuming shall my content be. By regular folk, you're like normal people. But in the run-up to, I got an audience of witches, like just witches. It's what they're out here in these streets doing. Exsanguinators, vampires, blood drinkers, call them whatever, mosquitoes. Yeah, anything at all that just likes to sap the juice out of human beings, they're that thing. That's what they are. Alrighty, listen up. The kingdom of darkness is very well organized, okay? They're also fast, by the way, for their little devil god. They pray to their little devil god. They do shrines, and they're very disciplined. They're extremely disciplined. They are also communicated to through their paraphernalia, who not to touch. In other words, other kingdom of darkness people, they leave them alone. Why? Because they're scared that the person that they're dealing with might just have more spiritual power, more occult power than them. So they tend to target Lay Janes and Lay Joes on these streets, in these streets that don't dabble with the occult, because they don't want a backlash. Like, fallen men on the earth, they don't fear God, they fear each other. They fear the devil. They fear the power of the devil. So the only people that they're scared of out here in these streets are each other. So they know not to, long story short, target each other. A kingdom divider cannot stand, and they get that. So first they scan the atmosphere with their occult paraphernalia, okay, for at the presence of occult magic. And the moment they find out that somebody is dabbling at all in any kind of occult magic, they're just kind of left alone. They're left alone lest they should be a high priest or a high priestess that if you're an amateur, if you dare come up against them, you might just find yourself dead the next day. So they properly go for Lay Janes and Lay Jones in these streets that don't do witchcraft, that don't dabble with magic. And oh my, how they love to target Christians, because we also don't touch that stuff due to the fact that we have rules, okay, and we belong to Jesus, and they think that we are doormats. They can just like walk all over us. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. That's how they feel about Christians. They have no respect for our God, but trust me, the day is gonna come when every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Christ is Lord. But in the run-up to, these bugaboos gonna be like Christ schmeist, okay? So these Christ schmeist proclaiming randos, this is what they do. First and foremost, they look. This is what's going on with wealth transfers, not just on YouTube, but this is what's currently happening on YouTube. This is a global thing. It's a general thing across many industries. It's what happens in stealing of careers, stealing of husbands, stealing of whatever it is that they might steal. But right now I'm speaking about careers, okay? Listen, not career, sorry, well that too, but like if it's an online career, this is how witches grow their channels, which is also one of the biggest reasons why some of them are so talentless, like people that have absolutely hollow Nord Ash talent. They are not good at what they do yet. Oh wow, look at you go with your 1 million subscribers after just 2 years. Look at you go with your 500,000 subscribers after 6 months. Look at you go viral over a dumb video that I clicked on only because I saw it had 8 million views, and when I look at it I don't even understand how it got there. They are exsanguinating content creators, and they target good people, but that are small. So let's explain what's going on across the world on YouTube, over and above YouTube's own shadow banning. So the unscrupulous immoral activity of social media platforms is feeding these exsanguinators, right? The devil, the kingdom of the devil is not divided. So YouTube belongs to the devil, Facebook belongs to the devil, all these social media platforms belong to the devil. So when it comes to censorship, they somehow strangely automatically do not censor these guys, even if they've got channels that are conservative or channels that are against the grain. If they're always talking out against climate change or the global disease that slapped everybody, and they're speaking taboo things, for some strange reason they're left alone. That can account for why it is that there are some people that appear to be able to speak whatever they want to speak on the internet and yet don't get touched. It is spiritual. And I'm about to get into explaining all that right now. Okay, listen up. These exsanguinators, these vampires, these mosquitoes, because some of them are that amateur. All they do is drink a little bit of blood and cause a bump on your skin, make you scratch yourself. But sometimes they can be lethal because they've got malaria type infectious stings. So yours is to just have an insecticide all up in your grill by the name of Jesus. Otherwise, you just, you're in a lot of trouble. Let's explain the exsanguination that has wreaked havoc in my particular channel, and God has given people this much energy and effort to go this far and no further where I'm concerned. Exsanguination. Let's continue to talk. What they do is they literally deliberately go out of their way to target startups. They target starting channels. So they look for the girl whose channel is only 5 weeks old. They look for the guy who has just uploaded their first video where, hi guys, starting a YouTube channel. I thought maybe, I could do it because I don't know, I feel really, really creative today. They look for small content creators, and they look for small content creators within their niche. They look for content creators within their niche because they have to draw a crowd that's generally interested in their subject matter. It'll not at all. Witchcraft is, yes, fine. So they believe that it can do all different kinds of weird and wonderful things and even change people's personalities, but that's naive. Largely, they understand that people tend to stick to one particular desire set. So if you're interested in hair, you will always click on hair content. If you love to listen to TED Talks, you will click on that. If you love to listen to motivational speeches, you will click on that. If you love cooking content, you will click on that. If you love fitness content, you will click on that, etc., etc. Okay, so they're not like a guy that does fitness is not going to target, for crying out loud, like a foodie influencer, or at least an aspiring foodie influencer. A guy that does travel is not going to go and target some lady that knits, that does crochet like beadings for local charities, for crying out loud. Like, the audience of that knitting beading lady is not interested in travel, so they're gonna target content creators that are within their niche. So they search for them, keyword searches and all of that jazz, and they deliberately look for ones who have got a very low viewership because they've just started yesterday, or their channel is, they're striving, they're pushing, they do their research. That's what's good. They do market research, and it's a very thorough market research because for them it's a business model. This is their business. This is how they start their business, by sapping and drinking the juice out of other people's businesses. So if you're a venture capitalist, the thing that makes you all vampiric and pouncing on people to try and offer them an investment opportunity, if you're an unscrupulous and an immoral venture capitalist, you are going to look for good people who have got good ideas that you can buy for real cheap and then burgeon that price and make it gargantuan, following which you will then coin it, cash it. You will win a lottery. You identify a really gifted person and you see that they're at the very beginning of their journey. That's what's good. And you follow them. They are so investigative. They are so thorough with their research that they follow people for sometimes a couple of months, like a season. And they will watch you over weeks upon weeks, uploading content. They first of all interrogate how good you are. So the one video you upload, let's say for instance you do cooking videos, they will look at your editing methodologies, the potential for you to grow. They do a little bit of a forecast, a trajectory as to where this is going. Are you really good at what you're doing? The ultimate end result of your food that you do, even if you've got a grainy, ugly video, is it good? And for them, it's like, it doesn't matter. If this video is grainy, it's gonna become clear one day, because she's gonna monetize her channel, and she's going to one day realize that this thing is fruitful for her. And so she's going to ultimately get all that she needs, including a nice little beautiful kitchen and lighting and cameras and whatnot to improve her quality. Then on that day, she's just going to version, box them, and become a little bit of a beast on YouTube. So they look at potential, just like in Maui. The venture capitalist, they be out here looking at homes that are by the beach side, that are burnt to a crisp, don't look good today, but market value, retail value for these things in the future, once rebuilt, is out of this world astronomical. So they look at something that has real potential. And if they find you with a small little negligible channel that is, however, with great potential, they will target you. So if you're the cooking lady, if you ultimately hook up the baddest cheesecake in your grainy little video, I'm sorry for you if you've been found by one of these exsanguinating vampiric freaks. You will suddenly have your channel go absolutely nowhere. They demotivate people, and for the larger majority of the time, these people have got their own 9-to-5s. They've got other things that they're doing. YouTube is not the be-all and end-all. It's not, frankly, the last door that they're knocking on. So if you want to do a channel, if you have got a little bakery and you now want to move it online type thing, your bakery is already thriving, people in your community absolutely love your croissants and what have you, and when then you make your puff pastry and do your croissants on YouTube and you only got 2 views and you only have 2 views and nobody's looking at you, you're gonna give up on that channel because you're too busy making croissants a day. But that's just the thing. If at all you grow and you realize that there is a second stream of income that you can make, and people embrace you and they love you, it can motivate you, even though you already worked very thin, to push those long hours to finally do your videos, edit them at the end of a day of cooking a whole bunch of croissants and only getting 3 hours of sleep a night. It can motivate people to push. It can motivate people to push, even if, frankly, there's not enough hours in a day. But there's nothing more demotivating than putting in hours of editing in a YouTube video, including recording the actual footage, only for you to get 5 little views, only for you to get 5 little views on your video and you go nowhere. I mean, video editing is a monster, guys. It can take for like ever in a day, and especially if you want to really impress. And sometimes even the freshest and newest of content creators go out of their way to edit videos for hours. So if you've edited a video for hours and then it only gets like 5 views, if you've edited a short for hours and it only gets like 2 or 3 views, 1 or 2, 3 likes, and even then one of the comments is telling you give up, don't quit your day job, you will give up. You will throw in the towel. And the important thing about these channels is that the people have to throw in the towel. If they don't throw in the towel, the wealth transfer does not get completed. It doesn't happen. So the YouTuber has to quit. If at all you're going to get, if for instance, the lady who is making donuts and croissants because she's a baker like that, hey girl, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do that. That lady with the croissants and the donuts and the puff pastry, that's what's good. Yeah, if she would have gotten within the first 6 months 5,000 subscribers. Those 5,000 subscribers will literally sit in the cosmos. They will sit in the stratosphere, whatever, frozen in between worlds, not getting taken over to the witch. If this chick, I know, but she just fosters. Like, even when she uploads her puff pastry, don't nobody do nothing. She's sad, she cries, and then goes back and uploads. All throughout the season of her trying to grow her channel, the wealth transfer cannot happen while she is still trying. If she is still trying to do what she needs to do, if she's still trying to do what she needs to do, in spite of a strangeness of a lack of growth, in spite of stagnancy, if we are forced Lomuntu, if she's got perseverance, if in the background of her doing her cooking, she's always listening, Tutu, I'm unstoppable, I'm like a Porsche with no brakes, I'm unconquerable, I will never leave. Yeah. If she's busy listening to I'm unstoppable and she keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, her stolen content, her stolen stars, her stolen videos, her stolen prosperity, her stolen subscribers will just chill in the cosmos, and the wealth transfer will not be completed. So the YouTuber in question that has stolen that person's entire prosperity set on YouTube will not ever get those 5,000 subscribers after 6 months. That's how they pile themselves on. That's why they grow so fast, sometimes even lacking talent. That's why there are channels on YouTube that are strangely ignored, or Facebook, wherever it is that you might go. They are strangely disregarded. People are not able to get to where they need to get on these channels of theirs, because there are people literally sitting on their prospects, and they rely on people throwing in the towel. They have to agree to have their content taken, basically, just like the people in Maui, upon being tapped on the shoulder of by a venture capitalist that is trying to juice a circumstance, exsanguinate the living daylights out of their blood. They have got to agree to sign that contract and basically sell their house that has been burned to the ground and go live somewhere else. Only then is the transfer of the property given over to an exploiter. So just like in physical terms, it also happens that way spiritually too, in that the person in question that owns this YouTube channel has got for the life of them to give up. They have to give up. So they invest in causing people to give up on their channels. They first hunt for a person within their niche. Once they have found them, they have to be at the beginning of their channels. It's absolutely worthless for them to try and steal the wealth of someone that's already arrived. Why? Because they've already gained all the subscribers, all the support, all the respect, and they will continue to get pushed by their existing subscriber count, right? So they're not going to go for a person with 200,000 subscribers. They're not going to go for a person with 500,000 subscribers. They're going to go for the girl with 200 subscribers, with 15 subscribers, the girl with 2 views. But the girl who, albeit having 2 views, is really good. And if she gets seen one day, all it requires is one viral video, and she's a goner. She's a goner. They look for that girl or that guy in that particular niche that they're in. So if they're a hair content creator, there's actually one hair content creator that the Lord has exposed over and over and over again to me that does this. If they do hair content creation, they will look for a hair content creator. And this new girl that's busy doing her wash day routine for 4C hair, she will look at her, see if she's any good, see if she's impressive, eloquent, see if she's got any value in terms of her video editing. And while she is still sitting on 700 subscribers, will literally grab like when you try to catch a horse that's like going astray in the wilderness, whoop, 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 put it around its neck and latch it. Upon latching it, then put that particular rope around some kind of a wooden stump, and the horse can't go anywhere even though it wants to gallop. It's fast enough to gallop well into the sunset, but it's stranded in one position. They put people in a position to give up, but the stoppage of their growth is often abrupt, sudden, and overnight. And a lot of people don't understand what's going on over there. Where they were growing 500,000, 500 subscribers. They were at 500 subscribers that they have garnered for themselves in 2 months. And then next thing, they're only gaining 1 subscriber, 2 subscribers, if at all, over like 3 weeks, over like 4 weeks. And they don't know what's happening. Their stats are tanking. And that's what usually discourages people. It makes them very sad. And makes them feel as if they're wasting time. And so they go back to their 9 to 5. They go back to whatever it is that they're doing on some, I tried YouTube. It wasn't for me. It was going absolutely nowhere. So they target people. If anybody that has had this happen to them, especially if the growth of their channel was sudden and overnight, especially when it's not explainable as to why it's freezing. Like if you're not a taboo content creator, like if you're not one that's always just kind of, it's like creeping up your fingernails up YouTube's like dirty hair. If you're not always irritating YouTube because you're always talking out against the colorful agenda or the virus or the whatnot. If you're not taboo but all you do is just talk about hair and your content freezes, it's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. Karabo can sit with confusion as to whether or not it's YouTube or witches, because I'm taboo. I talk about things that are taboo that tends to get people smothered by YouTube. But I also have a fitness channel where I do nothing but squat and, squat and unsquat. This is not something that would irritate the living daylights out of YouTube. YouTube just looks at a person squatting and they're like, whatever, let them squat. They're not taboo. They're not speaking out against the veracity or lack thereof of climate change. Just leave them alone. Yeah, when a channel where you're just squatting and stopping a squat, where you're lunging and stopping a lunge, where you're lifting a dumbbell and stopping lifting a dumbbell, and there is nothing offensive about what you're doing, especially when you don't talk in that channel, all you do is just exercise. Yeah, when that's frozen, that's not YouTube. When that's just frozen, that's not YouTube. That's witchcraft. That's someone that has scanned these streets looking for another fitness content creator to grow their own channel, and they never stop, by the way. They can get to 700,000 subscribers. They can get to 1 million subscribers. And because the eye of man is never satisfied, the eye of man is never satisfied. That's what's written in God's word, like death and Sheol. The eye of man is never satisfied. Their greed will make them perpetually, in order to grow those additional subscribers, it'll make them perpetually keep on looking for young innocents. And by young, I mean young on YouTube. As in, they've only got 5 days worth of presence on YouTube. They will keep on looking for them to exsanguinate them. They will keep on looking for people to destroy on YouTube. They will keep on looking for channels to steal. They will keep on looking for everyone and anyone to take the content away from. They will never stop. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that they can get to 2 million subscribers and 3 million and 4 million. They never get to a point where they say enough is enough. And they also never get to a point where they trust their own talent enough to keep growing. There comes a point where your own subscriber base just keeps pushing you and pushing you and pushing you until YouTube pushes you. Do you understand? So if enough of your own subscribers like your content, it'll then get pushed out to more people who will then happen upon your content. And there are people who genuinely do like talentless people. Just random whatever videos on YouTube that you find that have absolutely no value, no edification value, just hollow, knot, and ash, and they just like that because we live in an empty society full of people looking for a dopamine fix online, and they will just click on you. These people also bewitch their audiences in the sense that they send out something kind of electric, a frequency that is cosmic and spiritual that makes people strangely itch their fingers and click like on something that, if at all it was within their own faculties to do so, they wouldn't even care to, never mind notice the video, but go out of your way to allow your shaky finger to click a like, and so proliferate content. So they basically bewitch the earth. They basically bewitch anybody at all that happens upon their content. They mesmerize them, they glue them to their screen, and they keep them in that space. There is a Christian content creator that spoke out against this, who has got a channel herself, that was talking about how there is a Christian content creator, a fellow Christian content creator that she knows of, that is actively stealing views, that is actively stealing subscribers from, like I said, they tend to target niches. They tend to target niches. So if you are a fake Christian, a lukewarmer, having a reputation for being alive, but you're dead because you're Sardian, or you're Laodicean, you're neither hot nor cold, and because you're lukewarm, God is going to spit you out of his mouth. If you are a lukewarmer that is into witchcraft, but you've got these ambitions to get taken seriously as a Christian, you have got ambitions to get looked at as a responsible soul that adores the Lord, you are then going to start ministry, especially like the guilty people who are guilty of doing witchcraft, people who are involved in the kingdom of darkness, that want the reputation of being Christians. They love works. They love to be in the choir. They love to be ushers at churches. They love to be seen as Christians. For them, it is about just having a reputation for being alive even though they're dead. So they love to, like I said, if it's on YouTube, start YouTube channels and start talking a whole bunch about Jesus. They tend to be scripturally just off altogether. They're not Berean, but they absolutely, they start ministries because they know they're witches. And it happened with the dude in America. He's got a whole Facebook page where he keeps on uploading content about the end of days and sharing Christian work and whatnot. He's an actively involved dark servant. He works for Satan like 24 hours a day, and his facade, his smoke screen, the fake suit, the jumpsuit that he is wearing to hide what he is doing is the ministry. He has got a ministry to hide the fact that he is a member of the dark world. So these people who belong to the dark world, how they steal content is indeed similar to how the dudes who belong to the dark world that steal food content steal it. Exact same thing. They look for Christians. They go out of their way to look for Christians. And they don't even care if it's real Christians or fake Christians. All they care to scan and identify to see if they're targetable or not is to figure out if at all in and of themselves they're involved in witchcraft. There is a way that they spot each other. There is a way that they know about each other. And once they find out that no, this one is also doing witchcraft, they leave them alone. They don't touch the ones with witchcraft because it's about fear. They don't know how much stronger than them this person is. That if you target them, they've got, like I said, all of this paraphernalia that enables them to figure out who's bewitching them, who's doing what to them, And they can always look into their little glass balls to figure this out. So the moment they start to see a glitch in their content, they will then go into their little glass ball, be like, who is doing this to my content? Who is slowing me down? Once they find out who's slowing them down, there then is a risk that a magic wand might just be zapped in the direction of whoever is coming at them. And the person who owns this magic wand may very potentially, be stronger than the person with the original magic wand. So they don't want to risk meeting witches who are stronger. They don't want to risk meeting witches who are dealing with higher order demons or fallen angels. They don't want to take that risk in their stride, so they avoid people into witchcraft altogether. They go for little innocents in the street out here that don't dabble with dark arts. And it is this very practice, by the way, that causes a lot of people to join the occult. Seeing blockages in their lives makes them consult with demons. And when then they find reprieve from consulting with demons, they think that this is the be-all and end-all of a power. That's how their souls get then sapped and sucked, drank into hellfire. Unbeknownst to themselves, they've been deceived into embracing the kingdom of darkness and therefore loss of their souls. They have no clue that they have just traded eternal life. They've just traded their eternal souls for hollow knot and ash, just to find reprieve, just to find a drain blockage remover from where it is that they're at, without realizing that the true drain blockage remover is Jesus Christ, and prayer and long suffering and waiting and fasting is the only way to correct this particular situation. But anyway, let's get back into this thing. They identify people in their niche. Like I said, they have these people that they identify in their niche cannot also be witches. And within Christianity, there are also witches that are, like I said, they own ministries precisely because they're using them as a cloak for the dark arts that they're involved in. They've got a lot of Christian activity, even though they're not really born again. Matthew 7 speaks about this. Lord, Lord, have I not prophesied in your name? And in your name did many mighty miracles, and in your name cast out demons. And the Lord will tell them, depart from me, worker of iniquity, I never knew you. That's how a lot of these occult pastors get so many people, how they get so many people coming into their churches, etc. It is that mesmerizing power, that I told you guys about, that causes you to click on a YouTube video and not only click on it, not only stay on it, but also end up liking and so proliferate the YouTube algorithm. It is similar that way too, if at all you come from my era and time. I was born in 1984. Pokemon. If you remember how Pokemon used to be, you guys, and when I was at Wits University, Pokemon used to play at 4 p.m. right, every single weekday, and all the students there was a television in a canteen area at the university, a shopping area, it was called the Matrix. Okay, there was a TV at the Matrix, and there were students that would literally sit around. They looked like little bees in a hive. They would sit around this TV just glued onto Pokemon. It was almost electric. It's like they were stuck there and they couldn't stop watching it. I thought Pokemon was boring. I didn't understand what it was all about. I frankly couldn't get it, but it was conspiracized later on that there was something magical inside shows like Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z that literally sucked in children into the TV until they couldn't let it go. Even though it had no real entertainment value in it. It did that. It electrocuted and froze in one place. The students at this to a point where these buzzing bees around the TV was dead quiet in an otherwise very busy Matrix. At 4 p.m. up until 4:30. It was the freakiest thing to watch. It was the freakiest thing to watch these kids, these grown kids. They were not even primary school or high school age. They were in university now, and all the way from first year to postgraduate level, just frozen on a television at the Matrix at 4 p.m. to 4:30 watching Pokemon. The way that these people get drawn to content that belongs to these witches is similar to the way that you get drawn to Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon. You don't even know what under heaven is in this thing. There is no real entertainment value in it. It's badly done. It's not even the best kind of animation you can find out there, and yet you're drawn to it. Yeah, well, they do this exact same thing where you will keep on listening to the content of a person over and over and over again and struggle to let go. Frankly, I struggled with Prophet Lovey. When I found his channel because it was recommended by Nick Jones, I could not, even though I found so many heresies in his work and so many things that were offish, I could not I could not get away. I couldn't get away until I started getting all these nightmares from God showing me, get out of Lovey's ministry, you're in trouble. Prophet Lovey is out there in these streets producing Pokemon in church, Pokemon on YouTube, Pokemon, something electric and mesmerizing, bringing you to their channel. And so their channels grow really quickly. If it's a church, it grows real quickly. If it is an office environment, you suddenly get loved by bosses. Everybody thinks you're the best thing since sliced bread, even though, frankly, when it comes to real quality of delivery of your work, it leaves a lot to be desired. It leaves a lot to be desired. You are not much better than a lot of people around, and yet you are strangely favored. That is how these people transfer to themselves other people's content. Subscribers. They transfer to themselves other people's viewers, other people's numbers, other people's analytics, other people's stats. They version, they coin, they cash it in, they get the ad revenue, while somebody else sits around thinking that they're not a good enough baker, that they're not a good enough travel vlogger, that they're not a good enough hair stylist, that they're not a good enough, you get my point, right? Whatever it is that is your content. So when it comes to Christian ministry, you will have somebody that is a fake Christian that wants to do Christian ministry on YouTube, and they will literally target anyone that is a Christian content creator, whether or not they're lukewarm or actually on the narrow road. So you will have these people doing wealth transfers or attempts to steal ministry from people that are truly called and others that aren't called. The reason why they don't stop is because there appears to be prosperity in them stealing from ministries. Herein lies the deal. Not everyone who says to the Lord, Lord, Lord will enter the kingdom of heaven. Not everybody that goes on YouTube and creates content is of God. Not everybody is called. It is very easy to take away a call from a person, or at least a ministry, to take away. The Bible says the Lion of the tribe of Judah has roared. Who can but prophesy? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if the Lord has sent you, like Moses, you can complain and say that you stutter as much as you want at the burning bush, but you're going to do what God has told you to do. He will give you Aaron. He will inspire your wife Zipporah to stand in the gap for you and circumcise your son so that you don't get destroyed. You will ultimately lead those people out of the land of slavery and into the land flowing with milk and honey. Look at what happened with Jonah. He was put in the belly of a fish, and he went out there and pleaded with Nineveh and preached to Nineveh. Anyway, there is no rejecting a call in Christ, no matter how hard you try. Okay, many are called, but few are chosen indeed. But once the Lord has set apart a job for you, and you embrace it and you walk in it and you are determined for it, you can't be stopped, even when people try. It is a calling that is unignorable. It is irresistible. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is irresistible. The call of God on a person's life is irresistible. It's entirely irresistible. He's sovereign that way. So if it's real, if a person has truly been called, if they've truly been given ministry by God, there is no amount of wealth transfer, taking away of YouTube views and shares and likes and whatnot that's going to make them stop prophesying. The Lion of the tribe of Judah has roared, but who can but prophesy? Preaching by servants of the living God, prophets, etc. of old has often been to towns and cities that were disinterested in hearing what they have to say. They were unpopular. Jehoiakim, for crying out loud, burnt Baruch's scroll with Jeremiah, put him in prison and all that jazz. Micaiah was put in prison and fed meager portions of bread and water. There were so many struggles. Elijah was thrown out into the wilderness. He ran into the wilderness being pursued by a Jezebel who was telling him, may the gods deal with me ever so severely if by this time tomorrow Elijah's not dead. And Elijah was told to get up and eat. His journey is still too great. There are 7,000 others that have not knelt to Baal. And so carried on, went to the widow at Zarephath, and life went on swimmingly as he was supposed to. And then he got, translated at the River Jordan at the end of it all. That's what's good. So even when you are floundering and faltering and frankly feel as if though there is no way under heaven that you're going to finish this thing, you're going to finish it. God is going to give you strength. Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not faint, walk and not grow weary. Even though young men faint, even though, you get my point, right? So it is impossible to stop a Christian from doing the work that the Lord will have them do if they are truly called. Therefore, a Christian will be prepared for the life of her. Okay, if there's a speech lag, guys, I apologize. My phone is getting hot when I speak for too long. That's why I've got two places where I am recording, so that just in case this one drops the ball, we can always just go back to that other video. Yeah, so irrespective of having no audience, it being just this empty, barren wasteland where you're talking to what appears to be absolutely nobody, do you understand? You preach anyway, because God has sent you. The Lord has sent you. So if He has sent you to go and preach to a dry land, land. You trust that it is a valley of dry bones, and one day sinews are going to grow, muscles are going to grow, hearts are going to start beating, and people are going to grow. They're going to rise from the dead. When you are sent to a desert, you trust that the Lord is going to one day make it a fruitful land where olives are shooting, where flowers are burgeoning, but like you trust by faith that somehow, some way, the seed that you are planting on what appears to be soil that is not well prepared for the seed, soil that is like sandy soil or some other kind of soil where seed can't grow, in spite of it, you preach anyway. Whatever you don't see, you carry on, because that's what prophets of God of old have always done. That's what evangelists of God of old have always done. They have spoken anyway, in spite of a society that is full of rejection of their message. And then somewhere, somehow, there is a sprout. Somewhere, somehow, there is a harvest. Somewhere, somehow, miraculously, people come. Somewhere, somehow, in this very dry, barren wasteland where there is absolutely nothing going on, there then becomes a whole forest grown with trees and everything, monkeys swinging all up in there, and fruit growing in them. All right, we trust that. So if you are truly born again and truly called of God to do ministry, you cannot be stolen from. However, there can be a season in the interim where it is that it appears as if though frankly you are wasting time. But even when you feel like you're wasting time, just like Jonah felt like he'd be wasting time in preaching to Nineveh, whatever, you're gonna do what you need to do. You're gonna do exactly what you need to do. So motivation for Christians to keep on pushing and what appears to be their unyielding and stubborn recalcitrant behavior to a lack of action, a lack of activity, a lack of service for their work, a lack of appreciation, no reciprocity, but they're pushing anyway. It's not that they're strong. It's that there is a mighty and holy God saying, I'm roaring, so you will prophesy. And there is no saying, but no one's watching my YouTube video. Everybody's just quiet. It's a barren wasteland. It's a valley of dry bones. So they will walk, they will talk, and they will live. That's what's good. So we are not motivated to come every day on YouTube by numbers if we're truly called. We are motivated by God, who even though we are grumbling, even though we are disillusioned by a lack of prosperity, of us getting hurt, we are not charged in our own strength. We are charged by the one who said go, and can nobody say no when he says go. So we go. Therefore, as a disciple, what do you do when you are told by the lion to roar? Sorry, to prophesy because he has roared. And nobody is listening to your roar. When nobody's listening to you. When that discourages you and it makes you feel like trash, but you have to keep on coming anyway and anyway and anyway, every day and every day and every day. You give yourself a little strategy like Garabo where you avoid your analytics. You don't look at your numbers. You don't look at ones and zeros binary code. You don't even check who's looking because you can't ignore. The pull by God is far heartier than the disappointment of lackluster, traumatized, stagnant, flat-lined, coded numbers. Like proper. The call of God is heavier, pounding on the heart of a person, than disappointment by human reception. Whatever human beings will do with what you have to say from God is not like sufficiently demotivating in comparison to the call of God, the shout of God, the command of God to go. You can't say no to God. It's what I'm trying to help people understand. Just the other day, I rocked up and I was like, I'm going to stop uploading content because these people are rubbish. And then the next day I uploaded again and again and again, and I just have not stopped. I keep recording, I keep uploading, I keep dreaming. The lion is roaring, I am prophesying. There's nothing I can do because the call of God is heartier than the disappointment by man. It's that basic. So all of these wealth transfers, these view transfers, all of my hundreds of thousands of subscribers that have been taken by numerous, Christian content creators on YouTube, numerous Christian content creators on Facebook, numerous Christian content creators on Rumble. When it happened on Rumble, that's when I knew that, oh my goodness, it's a wealth transfer. My channel on Rumble was growing. Steadily, because nothing on Rumble grows like weeds. It's not like YouTube. But I went from getting, a couple of 50, 100, 200 views per video to one each time I would upload. One. Who is that one person that views me? Whoever the heck did a wealth transfer. Whoever under heaven took my content on Rumble to grow their own on Rumble. Yeah, so now I don't upload on Rumble anymore because it's too much effort. You can't upload many videos at the same time. And they have got a what do you call this, a throttling, because their platform is not quite as advanced and as big as YouTube. You can't upload too many videos at the same time, because then they start to throttle you so that other content creators can be given a fair chance, and the throttling for me is just too slow, especially when I've got a series to upload. So I stopped uploading to Rumble, and I intend to go back to Rumble in the future when I have motivation, and when I have fast internet, and when I've got multiple laptops that I can work from, so that I can, basically get all of my work out in spite of all of these stoppages. But right now I am just like, I've got too much that I am doing at the same time, to a point where I can't focus on Rumble anymore. I'm not even uploading as much as I used to on Facebook, but I'm still trying very hard to keep stuff going on Facebook. But the main place where I'm uploading right now is YouTube, and I'm so determined on YouTube that I'm uploading across four channels on YouTube, all of my content, and I found a strategy around that. And the reason why I keep on uploading, I keep on working, I keep on doing whatever I'm doing, is because the call by God to talk is haughtier than the disappointment by my stats. And this disappointment I eradicated by not looking at my numbers. Unfortunately, however, last night I happened upon one of my channel's numbers because of my strategy in order to upload faster, and it broke my heart and made me feel like I'm wasting time. But I'm back at it again. Here it is that I'm back at it again. They do these wealth transfers. Christian content creators are the only ones that are responsible for stealing my subscribers. It cannot be any other niche. That should tell you how bad the great apostasy is. That should tell you just where we find ourselves. Christian content creators are the only ones, alongside shadow banning by YouTube. I still get 1 or 2 subscribers every maybe like 3 weeks. So I'm still getting viewed. However, what needs to happen is that what you need to understand is, how does this affect then the content, the creator, right? The one that's being stolen from. So the one that is stealing, all of a sudden, magnetically, people mesmerizingly are drawn to their content. Okay? That is your numbers, all right? However, they cannot steal content from a person that is still uploading, because the transference of this thing only comes about when the person gives up. It will be the tantamount of agreeing to sell your house when you're not ready to sell it, okay? So for as long as the content creator is still uploading, the witch in question cannot steal. So they tend to look for a number of victims, a lot of them, so that, like hedging in stocks. You win some, you lose some. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. Some people, they never ever get the subscribers off. They never ever gain the numbers off, because these people don't give up even when they've got 1 or 2 subscribers every 5 months. Right? These are guys that they can't steal from, but for the larger majority, they succeed. They prosper. They prosper to take a lot of people's content. And I mean, really, if you are stealing from a new content creator that would have ended up with 1 million subscribers, you're the one that's going to get those millions of subscribers. If you're stealing from a content creator that was going to end up getting 100,000 subscribers, you're the one that gets these 100,000 of subscribers. So they search out the whole entire earth, find really good people that have got real potential to do well. And then they take their talent. They take their talent, not only their talent, but also their subscribers, and also whatever it is that is the money that would come to them. And the small number of people that make a decision to push anyway, they can't steal from them, but for them it's like, whatever. I've successfully hedged in this particular fund. I've successfully hedged in this particular stock, and it paid off in the end. I might have lost like maybe 50% here, but I gained a 200% profit in all these other people that I stole from. So that's how they grow their YouTube channels. That's why you find people repeating content, like literally rice water. Every 2 weeks you're doing something about rice water, and yet you are busy from that one video about rice water getting a good 5,000 subscribers, and nobody understands what's going on there. There is a hair content creator that God has shown me is like that. She is in a loop, repetitive. Her work is repetitive. Like all of the content she uploads is on a repetitive streak. The same content every couple of months, the exact same video. Sometimes she re-uploads the same video, and it gets her 5,000 subscribers. What's important is for them to continue to upload content, and it will continue to steal out of people that have thrown in the towel, out of people that have you do your first hair video, your second and your third, after your 50th, and like you're still getting nowhere. You're like, whatever, at least I've got a job as a project manager in South Africa, in corporate South Africa. At least I've got that, hey? Yeah, no, besides, I gotta raise my kids. I don't have time to be stressing over no hair channel. I would much rather be a thriving hair content creator, because that's my passion, but but I guess I'll just stick to project management. Yeah, that's what's good. So they need people to give up. They need people to give up, and their witchcraft is in constant operation until such time that the person does give up. The only thing that rescues you from that wealth transfer is Jesus. It's crying out to the Lord and asking the King of the universe to basically lift every bond, Psalm 91, that is on you. The deadly pestilence, the foulest snare, all that jazz. Only Christ can remove it from you. Only Christ. So what you need to what people need to do is basically persevere until they break through to the other side. But there is no breaking through without Jesus. So sometimes you can persevere and upload, but you will be a very frustrated content creator where you're just uploading stuff to gain 5 little subscribers in a year. It is going to bore you until you do give up. So they win, but with Christians. Which is why I am pretty certain that the season is coming to an end where all of this thievery on my particular content is going to be broken off. And all I'll be dealing with is the stupendous, ridiculous little no-brainer platform that in and of itself is hurting me with shadow banning, YouTube. Even with shadow banning, I shouldn't be growing so slowly. Even with shadow banning, YouTube is responsible for this rubbish, but so too are thieves. With my fitness content, it's not YouTube. That much I'm certain of. With my fitness, it is not Facebook, it is not YouTube, it is witches. The Lord showed me with my fitness, the witch in question some time ago, some chick that found me on Facebook. She made me give up. I did, but now that I'm back, whatever it is that she grew by my potential followership has suddenly stopped. It has suddenly stopped. So she might either go back and cast a spell or give up because I came back. I don't know. But mine is to just keep pushing and pushing until I've broken through to the other side. Once broken through, can't nobody come at me again. So if at all the Lord does not rapture the church, long suffering is going to make me money through fitness. Do you understand? That's why I am focused the way that I am with my fitness, because the wealth transfers that were done from my fitness content to some other person were to make me give up. But the Lord showed me that if you don't give up, if you suffer for a little while, the God of all grace will restore you to everything, lacking in nothing. If you don't throw in the towel, if you don't give up, I will restore you. And the Lord has shown me that the window of time within which their witchcraft was allowed to test me is about to close. And so one of these days, my fitness content is going to finally start paying off for me. And that's how I'm going to monetize. That's how I'm going to get out of this place and continue to do the work of the gospel until the rapture happens. I am going to get given my fitness. I'm going to get given my fitness because God showed me that when it comes to Christian ministry, they will keep attacking that. YouTube will always come against that. Facebook will always come against that. Intention has never been to monetize ministry, ever. I will never monetize ministry. I will forever keep on putting some small little, getting some small little, value from people on my ministry, but fitness is going to take off. It will. And the Lord has showed me that that is a door He has opened for me that no one can close. No one can close it. That's why I'm so motivated, positive reinforcement to continue with exercise, because God is showing me that the window of affliction of my fitness content is closing, and that's where I'm going to make money. However, with ministry, I will also have the wealth transfer stopped because I'm continuing. However, what that's going to do is show you the difference between a person that's just shadow banned by YouTube versus a person that is stolen from by witches. When YouTube shadow bans you, you still grow a couple of subscribers a month. You just get seen by less and less people, and you get proliferated by word of mouth. That's what's good. So other people push you and your subscribers push you. But when a witch has come up against your content, it blinds even your subscribers to your new content that you upload. It blinds people to your content. How it works with them, like I made mention, they mesmerizingly draw viewers to themselves, but how it affects the content creator that has had the spell cast against them is that that content creator, people, they can see their video, but they just don't click on it, even though under normal circumstances they wouldn't have. So it functions in an opposite effect to the witch who has stolen, where it is that they mesmerize people towards their content. Now they repel people from your content. So they cause people, including your own subscribers, even though there is a new update of your video, from watching you. And it is only people who are exercising a great amount of self-control, that's what's good, that click on you anyway, even though they feel like strangely drawn away from you. People that have historically subscribed to you, they actually like your content. Now they don't want to hear what you have to say. That's witchcraft.
It's witchcraft. So it's working in the minds of people, except those that God will draw to you. And except, God said he will make us a fisher of men. Except those that God will draw to you, and except those that God has worked in, like they have the Holy Spirit, so they can resist satanic strivings, satanic lurings. They can escape being made to click on something rubbish instead of something edifying. The Lord will keep on sending people to where they need to be sent. So that's how this particular spell operates against not Christian content, but anybody at all that has had this affect them. It causes the content creator to have people just look at their stuff and not look at it. Look at their stuff and not click on it. Click on it and not like it. Click on it and only listen to 2 seconds of it. Feel sleepy in the middle of them talking. Stuff like that. And it'll keep on happening on a loop until the person breaks through. But there is no breaking through apart from Christ. There is no breaking through apart from long suffering and waiting in Christ. You cannot do this on your own. If you are just some secular human being that is frustrated by how slowly your cycling channel is moving, you will never get it to move. If someone that also does cycling content has targeted you to steal your content, you will never go anywhere. Not without Jesus. It is only Christ that will suddenly, finally, all of a sudden, like overnight, break you through, and your next video will gain you 300 subscribers in one sitting. But it's going to take a season of pushing and striving. So the advice that I'm giving to people who are struggling with this thing, because I'm pretty sure they've made observations, if at all they happen upon my Christian ministry, if at all the Lord has pulled them to this and they're struggling, this is what you need to do. First of all, give your life to Christ. Linger, long suffer, however long it takes, a year and a half. Finally, you will break through. And once you've broken through, there's no turning back. You will grow and you will grow, and that basically, that wealth transfer is lost to the witch forever. They can never redo it again. And however many of them came up against you, however many of them beleaguered you, they were used as a test on you, and once you pass the test, they can't come at your channel again. And so it doesn't matter if another lady from Zimbabwe makes a decision to come against my fitness content, or another one from South Africa, or 10,000 guys from wherever across the world they may be at. When I break through, when this window closes, when my season of testing is over for my fitness, I will grow, and no witchcraft will stop me. And even if YouTube or Facebook shadow bans my fitness for whatever reason, I will still grow at the rate that shadow banned people grow. Right now, I'm not growing at all. It is a combination of shadow banning, censorship, and witchcraft. But understand that once the witchcraft lifts off my ministry, you will see the difference between YouTube shadow banning and witchcraft. You will see that I will grow, not as much as I used to in the beginning of my channel, where I would gain about 300 subscribers a month. I might gain 100. I might gain 50. But I will gain some. Right now, I'm stuck in the 600s, and it's been like that for almost a year. That is a combination of censorship and witchcraft. If it was YouTube only that shadow banned me, you must understand that I would have at least gained by now an additional, over the past year, maybe I might have gained 300 new subscribers in a year. Not 5, guys. Not 5. From growing about 300 subscribers in a month. Yeah. If YouTube had shadow banned me and that was the only thing that was operating right now, I might have gained those an additional 600 over a year, and not nothing at all. Yeah. So it's a combo. Therefore, I'm looking forward to my ministry growing, just not quickly. No Christian ministry will ever be allowed to thrive like an inferno in a bush, and like, the burning fire there in Maui. Never. It's never going to happen. That's why God has told me, don't even try to monetize ministry. You will always have issues coming up against ministry, Karabo. Even if you were to monetize it, one day you're going to get deplatformed, or not deplatformed, but you will never allow my ministry to be brought down. Demonetized. One day you will keep on getting strikes and having to tiptoe around YouTube for 2 months, for 3 months before the strikes seasons are gone, and all that jazz. It's going to happen in increasing measure. So do not expect to monetize ministry. I have told my Christians across the world that if at all they're going to make money here on earth, they need to find other means other than the gospel, because if at all it's gospel related, it's going to start getting drained financially. So do not take donations in terms of gospel ministry. Do not try to monetize ministry, because one day that's a source of income that's going to dry up for pastors. Everybody, they have to tap into their gifts and talents and see if they can make money that way. If you can sing, do little gospel melodies on YouTube. If you can bake, make some puff pastry on YouTube. If you can exercise well, Do fitness content on YouTube. If you can, like, frankly, Christians have got to find an alternative stream of making money other than through ministry, because if they try to monetize ministry, they will be drained. Just like in the Squid Game, the wicked are going to try and recruit you into some kind of a satanic game because you ain't got no money. They're going to try and make you take their little mark. They're going to try and recruit you into their industry, into their kingdom. They are going to use the fact that you have nothing to your name, not a cent, to make you compromise. So I'm focusing on my fitness right now precisely because the Lord has told me that it's going to take off. It's going to take off in the worst way. It is going to be the way that I make money. It is going to be the way that I get myself an apartment. It's going to be the way that I finally get out of this woman's house. Fitness is the way. And if I stop that, I'm basically screwed, like indefinitely. So I focus on it now. I make sure that every single day I do something for fitness, take only 2 days off, no matter how exhausted I am, because I understand that this is my future bread and butter. It's my future bread and butter, and the season of cursing that particular thing is coming to a close. And the Lord has guaranteed me that YouTube will never shadow ban my fitness, and neither will Facebook. They won't come at it. They will never come at my fitness content, but my oh my, how they're going to keep coming at ministry. So I'm only telling people to watch this space. Watch my ministry suddenly gain subscribers, even though it's not as much as I used to gain. And if at all you follow me in my fitness, if you go to my blog, you will find that fitness page. No matter how much witchcraft comes in it that I added, the day is going to arrive in my fitness where I will be growing like astronomically every month, gaining something like 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. The day is going to come when I'm going to become a fitness influencer. It is going to happen. That is what the Lord showed me. It's literally nothing can stop it. It's a door that's been opened. It's a star that can't be stolen. However, some chick tried to steal it. I threw in the towel for a minute. After throwing in the towel, I went back, and now she's frozen. She cannot steal from me. She will continue, however, all the way up until the end of the ages to steal from other people, because wheat must grow among tares. But that's what happens when you persevere. One day God opens a floodgate for you, and when it floods, it gushes. It gushes, do you understand? And that gushing, those latter rains, can't nobody stop it. Can't nobody stop it. So like the people in Maui, I have got property that has burned to the ground that is going to be of great value. And I got a venture capitalist tapping on my shoulder trying to buy my stuff before it can be rebuilt during a season of my incredible sorrow. And God is telling me, tell them where to get off. Tell them to bugger off. Tell them to get out of your face, because I'm about to rebuild for you a beachside property that is going to retail for way more than before what under heaven it is that it cost before the fires. And on that day, those venture capitalists are going to weep. They're going to wail. They're going to mourn. They're going to cry. Now let me explain to you what happens, oh you venture capitalists that keep on stealing from people when they're at their lowest. You are stealing talents from people. In the parable of the talent, God severely judges and punishes the person who takes their one little talent and buries it in the ground. He calls him a slothful servant, and in that place he is thrown, where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. So when you take gifts from people until they give up, you are putting them in a position to be like the slothful servant. The Bible says offenses will come, all right? But woe to the man through whom those offenses come. So if you make a person throw in the towel on their gift because they don't know that Christ is the way out of witchcraft, you are a person that is bringing offenses to a town and a city. Woe to you. You've made a man lazy and thrown him in hell for that laziness. You've caused a person to grab their gift of baking, to grab their gift of singing, to grab their gift of skincare, of making, of doing hair. You have made people take their talents and completely bury them. What it is that God has given them from birth as passions. Hey, they're sitting around doing call center jobs in corporate South Africa. They can't stand their jobs, but they know that they can paint. And you are causing such people who want to paint on YouTube to be unable, when not as a painter, to paint, but you get to paint. And you steal all their content. They then put their paintbrush down. They no longer do any of that. And in then doing such a thing as that, literally bury their talent in the ground. The Lord says these offenses will come. But woe to you who put them in a position to sin like that. If you cause any of these little ones of mine to sin, it'll be better if a millstone were tied around your neck and for you to be thrown into the ocean than for you to face God on the judgment. These people who put people in a position to ignore their gifts and their talents until they get old and gray, having given up on their dreams. Yeah, no, you've caused people to undermine God and undermine his ability to deliver, and so therefore go to hell. But yours is a grander punishment. So woe to you who try to come in between me and my ministry. Woe to that chick who bewitched my fitness content. Offenses came. I put my own fitness in the ground, but then God uprooted it out of the ground and said, it's your gift, go, fly with it. I have given it to you. And now I'm striving, I'm pushing. I am resisting the devil and he is fleeing from me. But woe to that woman that nearly made me bury my talent in the ground. No more. Positive reinforcement has had it such that I am so incredibly benefited by my dance, my workouts. The depression in me is rather the one that is exsanguinated. The depression in me is taken out by dance to a point where I'm able to overcome suicide ideation every single day. There is no turning back now. Positive reinforcement makes sure that I go on the dance floor even when I am struggling. And according to God, that's what's going to be my future source of income. And when that comes to pass, people will believe, they will applaud, they will cheer, and they will therefore trust my God. They will then, from my fitness content, also flood to my ministry. They will flood to my ministry and so get healed. That's what's good. People would have been devastated if I died, but they would have done nothing to avoid my death. Well, this is me rescuing myself by positive reinforcement in fitness and by recognizing that God has given me a promise that he will never ever forsake from my shores. That's what's good. So as for the witches that have done this, the Lord has already shown me that they're depressed, they're miserable, they're eating dust for food because they understand it is stolen. All of these content creators stealing YouTube channels from people, especially the YouTube channels of up and coming stars, up and coming people who have got a lot of talent but they've yet to start, and when they start, before they can even get anywhere, they steal their stuff. They steal their stuff and they make them throw in the towels. They are feeling sad. They've drained joy out of their lives and now they're about to die if they don't repent to Christ. They understand, however, that if they repent, they're going to lose everything, and in so losing everything, have to humble themselves, and that's the sorrow of their souls. It is harder for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. They have made wealth off of people's backs. They have exsanguinated the blood out of people's bodies, and they, for the life of them, cannot give that blood back. They refuse to give the blood that they've stolen from people back, and as a result of them refusing to give people back what it is that was taken from them, in so refusing to do this thing, they're going to perish in their sins. The Lord has said, repent or perish. Be prepared to lose your house. Be prepared, given that you don't have any real talent, you haven't cultivated or fostered any real talent in you. Be prepared to move your child to a public school where before they were in a private establishment. Be prepared to do that. And because of holding on to lifestyle, holding on to their lives, they're going to lose them. The Bible says if you hold on to your life, you will lose it. But if you lose your life for the sake of the kingdom of heaven, for Christ's sake, you will gain it. These people will refuse to lose their lives, and so they're going to they're going to refuse to lose their lives for Christ, and so they're going to lose them entirely. Even that which they don't have gets taken away from them, just as in the parable of the talents. That's what's good. They are about to lose homes. I've said that because of the fact that if they give their lives to Jesus, they are going to have to accept literally something like a 60% cut of their salary because it will have all been stolen. They're gonna have to embrace humble lives or perish. That's why they're all sad. They're sitting around in chairs twirling on them, understanding that their judgment is here, comeuppance is near, and they're still holding on for dear life. I would greatly admonish them all to repent. Like Papa, it's okay to live in a 2-bedroomed house when you come from a mansion rather than go to hell. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul? God is about to give people's YouTube channels back, but they gotta turn to him. God is about to give people their jobs back, their lifestyles back, everything, but they gotta turn to him. However, the rapture is also very near. But in the run-up to the rapture, this deliverance is going to happen. This deliverance is going to happen to show those that was, doubtful, because the Lord has mercy on doubting Tom, that he is God, that they might enter into the ark. So understand, the Lord is going to create a little mini harvest around my ministry by giving me fitness. And when he does, after he has fulfilled the number of the people that were supposed to be reached by my content, whoop, going in the sky. Don't say I didn't tell you. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Cran K. Peace out.